My dear sister, sometimes your heart is not broken because you loved too much. It is broken because you gave your softness to people who never feared Allah in how they handled it. You kept forgiving, kept explaining, kept staying, kept calling it sabr, until your peace became the price. But listen carefully, Islam never asked you to become cold. It only teaches you to stop placing a precious heart in careless hands. Before people break the softness Allah gave you, learn these 7 lessons. 1. Stop mistaking kindness for availability. A soft heart is a gift from Allah, but not everyone deserves unlimited access to it. Some people do not value your kindness. They only become comfortable using it. They know you forgive quickly, you reply even when you are hurt, you give chances even when your heart is tired, and you stay silent because you do not want to create problems. But my sister, kindness does not mean you must always be available. A believing woman can be gentle without becoming easy to misuse. You can care about someone and still protect your distance. You can make dua for them and still stop letting them disturb your peace. If someone only comes to you when they need comfort, support, attention, or forgiveness, but disappears when you need respect, then they are not honoring your heart. They are benefiting from it. Learn this before people break you. Your softness should bring you closer to Allah, not make you a target for careless people. Be kind, but let your kindness have boundaries. A door that is always open will eventually invite people who never deserve to enter. 2. Stop calling disrespect a test of patience. Sabr is beautiful, but sabr does not mean accepting disrespect until your heart becomes empty. Many soft-hearted women remain in painful situations because they think leaving, speaking up, or creating distance means they failed the test of patience. But my sister, not every pain is a test to endure. Sometimes it is a warning to understand. When someone keeps insulting you, ignoring your feelings, breaking promises, or making you feel small, do not keep calling it sabr while your soul is begging for protection. Allah does not love oppression, and Islam does not teach a woman to lose her dignity just to prove she is patient. True patience is not weakness. True patience is controlling yourself with wisdom while still choosing what is right. You can forgive someone and still stop giving them access to hurt you again. You can remain respectful and still walk away from disrespect. Learn the difference between a test from Allah and a pattern from people. If someone repeatedly damages your peace and never fears Allah in how they treat you, then your boundary may be the lesson Allah wanted you to learn. 3. Stop explaining your pain to people who enjoy causing it. There comes a moment when a soft-hearted woman must stop explaining wounds to the same people who keep reopening them. At first, you speak because you believe they did not understand. You think, maybe if I explain it better, maybe if I choose softer words, maybe if I tell them how deeply it hurt me, they will finally realize. So you explain your feelings again and again. You describe your pain, your disappointment, your silence, your tears, your sleepless nights. But the painful truth is this: some people already know exactly what they did. They are not confused, they are comfortable. My sister, if someone truly cares, they do not need 1,000 explanations to respect your heart. A person with fear of Allah does not wait until you completely break before they become gentle. They notice when your voice changes. They notice when your smile disappears. They notice when your heart becomes quiet. But a careless person will make you explain the obvious, then act like your pain is an overreaction. They will hurt you, then question your tone. They will disrespect you, then accuse you of being too sensitive. They will create the wound, then demand proof that you are bleeding. This is where many soft-hearted women lose themselves. They keep talking to people who are not listening to understand. They are listening to defend themselves. They are not asking questions because they care. They are collecting your words so they can twist them later. You say, "You hurt me," and they say, "You always blame me." You say, "I felt ignored," and they say, "You expect too much." You say, "I need respect," and they make you feel guilty for having standards. Slowly, you begin to doubt your own feelings. You start wondering if maybe you are the problem. That is how emotional exhaustion begins. But listen carefully. Your pain does not need approval from the person who caused it. If your heart knows it was hurt, if your peace disappeared, if your dignity was touched, That is enough for you to become wiser. You do not need to win an argument to protect yourself. You do not need them to admit everything before you create distance. Some people will never confess because confession would destroy the image they are trying to protect. They would rather call you dramatic than face the truth of what they did. Islam teaches us to speak with wisdom, but wisdom also knows when silence is better than wasted words. The Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, taught us the value of good speech, but also the value of restraint. Not every person deserves the full story of your pain. Not every heart is safe enough to hear your truth. Sometimes the most powerful thing a woman can do is stop explaining and start observing. Observe who changes when you stop giving them emotional access. Observe who becomes angry when you no longer chase understanding. Observe who only loved your softness when it allowed them to avoid accountability. My sister, do not turn your heart into a courtroom where you keep presenting evidence to someone committed to denying it. Allah saw what happened. Allah heard what was said. Allah knows what they did publicly and privately. When people dismiss your tears, Allah does not. When people twist your words, Allah knows your intention. When people make you feel alone, Allah is closer than anyone you were begging to understand you. So stop explaining your pain to people who enjoy causing it. Explain once with dignity. Advise once with calmness. Make your feelings clear without humiliating yourself. But if they continue the same behavior, your silence must become your boundary. Not the silence of weakness, but the silence of a woman who finally understands that her peace is too valuable to keep spending it on people who do not fear Allah in how they handle her heart. 4. Stop letting guilt control your decisions. A soft-hearted woman often carries guilt even when she is doing nothing wrong. She feels guilty for saying no. She feels guilty for not replying quickly. She feels guilty for needing space. She feels guilty for walking away from people who keep hurting her. She feels guilty for choosing peace after spending years choosing everyone else. But my sister, you must understand this deeply. Not every guilt is a sign that you are wrong. Sometimes guilt is only proof that you are no longer obeying the unhealthy pattern people trained you to follow. Some people become comfortable with your softness. They become used to you always understanding, always forgiving, always adjusting, always apologizing first, always making excuses for their behavior. So when you finally stop, they act shocked. They say, "You changed." They say, "You were not like this before." They say, "You think you are better now." But the truth is, you did not become cruel, you became awake. You finally realized that a heart cannot keep giving from an empty place and still remain peaceful. My sister, people who benefited from your lack of boundaries will not celebrate your boundaries. They will make you feel selfish for protecting yourself. They will make you feel harsh for speaking clearly. They will make you feel guilty for doing what they should have respected long ago. This is why you must learn the difference between real guilt and manipulated guilt. Real guilt brings you back to Allah with humility. Manipulated guilt brings you back to people who keep breaking you. If you made a mistake, apologize. If you hurt someone, correct yourself. If you spoke wrongly, seek forgiveness. A believer never becomes arrogant. But if you are only feeling guilty because you stopped allowing disrespect, then do not run back to the same pain just to feel like a good person again. Being good does not mean being available for emotional damage. Being kind does not mean letting people cross every line. Being soft does not mean you must sacrifice your dignity to keep others comfortable. Many women confuse peace with pleasing people. They think, if everyone is happy with me, then I am doing the right thing. But sometimes the moment you do the right thing, the wrong people become upset. When you choose Allah's pleasure over people's approval, some people will not understand you. When you stop explaining yourself to careless hearts, some people will call you cold. When you stop giving access to those who hurt you, some people will call you proud. Let them speak. Your goal is not to be accepted by everyone. Your goal is to protect the heart Allah gave you and live in a way that does not destroy your iman, your peace, or your self-respect. Remember this. Guilt becomes dangerous when it makes you betray yourself repeatedly. It makes you answer the message you should ignore. It makes you forgive without seeing change. It makes you stay in conversations that drain you. It makes you accept behavior you would never advise another sister to accept. You would tell another woman, protect yourself. You deserve respect. Do not let them use you. But when it comes to your own heart, you keep giving people permission to hurt you because you are afraid of feeling guilty. My sister, Allah knows your intention. Allah knows whether your boundary came from arrogance or survival. Allah knows how many times you tried to be patient, how many times you cried quietly, how many times you gave chances that people never valued. Do not let someone's reaction make you doubt what Allah already witnessed. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught mercy, but mercy was never weakness. He taught forgiveness, but forgiveness was never permission for people to continue oppression. So stop letting guilt control your decisions. Let taqwa control your decisions. Let wisdom control your decisions. Let self-respect, guided by faith, control your decisions. If your heart is tired, rest. If someone keeps disrespecting you, create distance. If a relationship keeps pulling you away from peace and closer to anxiety, ask yourself why you are still calling it love. A soft-hearted woman does not need to become heartless to become strong. She only needs to stop allowing guilt to drag her back into places Allah may be trying to free her from. 5. Stop giving wife treatment to people who give you confusion. A soft-hearted woman often gives too much too early, especially when her heart becomes attached. She gives loyalty before there is commitment. She gives emotional support before there is responsibility. She gives her time, her care, her attention, her patience, and her deepest softness to someone who has not even made his intention clear. And slowly, without realizing it, she begins giving wife treatment to someone who is only giving confusion. My sister, this is where many hearts get broken. A man may enjoy your kindness, your listening ear, your concern, your forgiveness, your emotional presence, and your constant availability, but still refuse to give you clarity. He wants the comfort of your heart without the responsibility of honoring it. He wants your softness without commitment. He wants your loyalty without a halal promise. He wants your emotional support while keeping you unsure, anxious, and waiting. But Islam does not honor confusion. Islam honors clarity. Islam honors respect. Islam honors protection. Islam honors halal commitment. If someone truly values you, they will not keep you trapped in uncertainty. They will not make you guess where you stand. They will not take your heart on a journey with no destination. A serious person brings peace, not constant questions. A sincere person brings direction, not emotional fog. Many women say, but he talks to me every day. My sister, daily conversation is not commitment. He says he cares about me. Words are not commitment. He gets jealous. Jealousy is not commitment. He tells me I am different. Compliments are not commitment. He comes back whenever I pull away. Returning is not commitment. Commitment is clarity. Commitment is responsibility. Commitment is halal intention. Commitment is someone respecting your value enough not to waste your heart. A soft-hearted woman must learn that attention is not love. Some people give attention because they are lonely. Some people give attention because they enjoy being needed. Some people give attention because your softness feeds their ego. But love, real love, has responsibility with it. Love does not leave you confused every night. Love does not make you check your phone with anxiety. Love does not make you wonder why someone is warm today and cold tomorrow. Love does not keep you emotionally attached while giving you no secure place to stand. You must ask yourself with honesty, am I being honored or am I being used? Am I being protected or am I being entertained? Am I receiving clarity or only sweet words? Am I moving towards something halal or am I becoming emotionally attached to someone who has no real intention? These questions may hurt, but they can save your heart before it breaks deeper. My sister, your heart is not a waiting room for someone's confusion. You were not created to sit there while someone decides whether you are worthy of being chosen. You do not need to prove your loyalty to someone who has not proven his seriousness. You do not need to keep giving emotional wife treatment to a person who only gives you mixed signals. If he is unsure, step back. If he is inconsistent, step back. If he avoids clarity, step back. If he enjoys your presence but never speaks about halal responsibility, step back. This does not mean you become rude. This does not mean you become bitter. This means you become wise. A wise woman does not argue for her value. She observes behavior. She listens to words, but she trusts actions. If someone says they care, but keeps hurting your peace, believe the pattern. If someone says you matter, but keeps you hidden, believe the pattern. If someone says he is serious, but never takes a serious step, believe the pattern. Sometimes a soft-hearted woman gives more, because she is afraid of losing the person. She thinks, if I stop caring so much, maybe he will leave. But my sister, if someone only stays because you are overgiving, then he was not staying for love. He was staying for benefit. The right person will not require you to lose yourself to keep them. The right person will not make you beg for clarity. The right person will not punish you for having standards. The right person will respect the fact that your heart belongs under the protection of Allah, not under the control of someone's moods. Do not confuse emotional closeness with emotional safety. You can speak to someone for months and still not be safe with them. You can share your pain with someone and still not be valued by them. You can feel attached to someone and still know deep inside that they are not bringing you peace. Attachment is powerful, but attachment is not always a sign from Allah. Sometimes attachment is a test. Sometimes it reveals where you are giving too much power to someone who should not have access to your heart. And remember this clearly. When a woman gives too much without clarity, she starts losing herself quietly. She begins adjusting her mood to his replies. She begins measuring her worth by his attention. She begins making excuses for his inconsistency. She begins accepting small pieces of care because she is afraid to ask for full respect. This is how a soft heart becomes exhausted. Not because it loved, but because it loved without wisdom. Allah gave you dignity. Do not hand it to someone who cannot even be clear. Allah gave you emotions. Do not place them in the hands of someone who plays with them. Allah gave you a heart. Do not let it become attached to someone who enjoys your softness but avoids responsibility. A woman of Iman does not chase confusion. She asks Allah for guidance, watches the signs, and chooses peace when the path becomes harmful. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us modesty, dignity, and honorable conduct. In Islam, relationships are not meant to become games of anxiety, secret attachment, emotional dependence, and unclear promises. A woman is not honored by being kept in confusion. She is honored when someone approaches her with respect, sincerity, and a halal path. So if someone wants your heart, let them come correctly. Let them show seriousness. Let them respect your boundaries. Let them honor your time. Let them bring peace to your family, your deen, and your future, not just emotion to your present moment. Do not lower your standards because you are afraid of being alone. Being alone with Allah is safer than being emotionally trapped with someone who keeps breaking your peace. My sister, stop giving wife treatment to people who give you confusion. Stop giving your deepest care to someone who has not earned that place. Stop acting committed to someone who is still acting uncertain. Stop giving your full heart to someone who only gives half effort. You can be kind, but not careless with yourself. You can be loving, but not blind. You can be soft, but not available for emotional games. The woman who knows her worth does not demand to be chosen. She simply stops standing where she is not respected. She stops feeding connections that keep her anxious. She stops calling mixed signals love. She stops letting sweet words cover empty actions. And when she finally steps back, she does not lose herself. She finds herself again. Let your softness be protected by wisdom. Let your emotions be guided by faith. Let your standards be higher than your attachment. Because the person written for you by Allah will not need to break your heart to recognize your value. 6. Stop thinking a good heart can change a careless person. A soft-hearted woman often believes that if she loves someone enough, forgives them enough, waits long enough, explains gently enough, and gives enough chances, maybe one day they will finally change. She thinks her patience will melt their harshness. She thinks her loyalty will wake up their conscience. She thinks her tears will make them realize what they are doing. But my sister, you must understand this before people break you. Your good heart can inspire someone who already wants goodness, but it cannot force change into a person who is comfortable being careless. Some people do not hurt you because they do not know better. They hurt you because they believe you will always stay. They believe your soft heart will keep making excuses for them. They believe your forgiveness is endless. They believe no matter how many times they disappoint you, you will still open the same door, answer the same message, listen to the same apology, and accept the same behavior again. So they do not feel urgency to change. Why would they change when your softness keeps protecting them from the consequences of their actions? This is where many women become emotionally exhausted. They are not tired because they love too much. They are tired because they keep giving love to someone who only takes from it. They keep pouring mercy into a heart that does not fear Allah in how it treats them. They keep hoping for a version of someone that only appears after an argument, after tears, after distance, after they feel they are losing control. Then, when things become normal again, the same careless behavior returns. My sister, temporary regret is not transformation. Sweet words after hurting you are not transformation. Crying when you walk away is not transformation. Promising to change for the 10th time is not transformation. Real change has consistency. Real change has accountability. Real change does not need to be begged for every month. Real change is shown when a person corrects themselves, even when you are no longer reminding them, chasing them, or crying in front of them. You cannot carry another person's character on your shoulders. You cannot become their conscience. You cannot keep teaching an adult how to respect, how to speak, how to be honest, how to be gentle, how to fear Allah, how to value someone who has stood by them. Advice is beautiful, but advice only benefits a heart that is willing to receive it. If someone keeps rejecting correction, twisting your words, blaming you for their behavior, and returning to the same pattern, then the problem is not that you did not explain well. The problem is that they do not want to change badly enough. A good heart must be careful, because it can turn into a prison when it has no wisdom. You start saying, maybe he had a difficult past, maybe she did not mean it, maybe they are stressed, maybe if I am more patient, they will become better. Compassion is good, but compassion without boundaries becomes self-abandonment. Yes, people have wounds. Yes, people have struggles. Yes, people make mistakes. But another person's pain does not give them permission to keep damaging yours. You can understand why someone behaves badly and still refuse to accept the behavior. You can have mercy for someone's struggles and still protect yourself from their harm. You can make dua for their healing and still stop standing close enough for them to keep wounding you. This is not cruelty. This is wisdom. A woman of Iman does not become heartless, but she also does not become a place where careless people come to release their darkness. Sometimes you are not in love with who they are. You are attached to who you believe they could become. You are holding on to potential. You are loving a future version of them that does not exist yet. You keep saying, deep down they are good. Maybe they are. But deep down does not help you when their actions keep hurting you on the surface. Deep down does not comfort you when you are crying alone. Deep down does not comfort you when you are crying alone. Deep down does not comfort you when you are crying alone. Deep down does not comfort you when you are crying alone. Deep down does not comfort you when you are crying alone. Look at actions, my sister, not potential, not promises, not emotional moments, not the version of them you created in your mind. Look at what they repeatedly choose. A person is not only what they say when they are afraid to lose you. A person is what they do when they think you will stay. If they only become kind when you are about to leave, that is not love, that is fear of losing access. If they only respect you when you become silent, that is not honor, that is panic. If they only apologize when there are consequences, that is not sincerity. That is damage control. And you must stop believing that your suffering is the price of their growth. Allah did not create your heart to be someone's emotional training ground. You are not required to break yourself so another person may one day become mature. You are not required to absorb disrespect so someone can slowly learn manners. You are not required to sacrifice your peace so someone can discover your value after destroying it. Yes, Allah can change anyone. Never doubt the power of Allah. A heart can turn in one moment by His mercy. A person can repent, soften, and become better. But my sister, Allah being able to change someone does not mean He asked you to stay in harm while waiting for that change. Make dua for them, wish guidance for them, speak once with wisdom, but do not confuse your role with Allah's power. You are not the changer of hearts. You are not the controller of destiny. You are not responsible for forcing goodness into someone who keeps choosing carelessness. This is especially important for a soft-hearted woman, because she often feels guilty for giving up on people. She thinks walking away means she failed them. But sometimes walking away is the only thing that teaches them that your heart was not something to play with. Sometimes distance becomes the mirror they refuse to look into. Sometimes losing access to you is the consequence they needed, because your presence kept making them comfortable. Do not keep rescuing people from the results of their own behavior. If someone disrespects you, and you act like nothing happened, you teach them your pain has no cost. If someone lies and you instantly forgive without change, you teach them trust can be broken without consequence. If someone disappears and returns whenever they want, and you welcome them the same way, you teach them your heart has no door. Boundaries are not punishment. Boundaries are protection. They show people that love can be present, but disrespect cannot stay. My sister, the right person will not require you to become destroyed before they learn how to treat you. The right person will care about your heart while it is still soft, not after it becomes tired. The right person will not need to see you broken before realizing you mattered. The right person will fear Allah in your absence and your presence. They will not use your patience as permission to continue hurting you. So ask yourself honestly, are they changing, or are you only hoping? Are they taking responsibility, or are they only apologizing when you pull away? Are they becoming better, or are you becoming smaller? Are they growing closer to Allah, or are they pulling you into anxiety, sadness, and confusion? These questions are not meant to make your heart hard. They are meant to wake your heart up. A careless person may love what you provide, but still refuse to value who you are. They may love your support, your softness, your loyalty, your forgiveness, your attention, your emotional warmth, but loving what you give is not the same as loving you. When someone loves you with sincerity, they become careful with your heart. They do not treat your tears like an inconvenience. They do not treat your standards like a burden. They do not treat your silence like permission to continue. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ taught mercy, but he also taught justice, dignity, and wisdom. Islam does not ask you to become cruel, but it also does not ask you to remain in places where your heart is repeatedly harmed. Your softness is beautiful when it is guided by faith, but when softness becomes blind attachment, it can make you stay where Allah may be showing you to step back. My sister, stop thinking your good heart can change a careless person. Your heart can advise. Your heart can forgive. Your heart can make dua. Your heart can show mercy. But your heart cannot force someone to fear Allah, respect boundaries, or become sincere. That choice belongs to them. And if they keep choosing carelessness, then your choice must be wisdom. Do not become bitter. Do not wish harm. Do not carry hatred. Simply remove your heart from the hands of people who do not know how to hold it. Let Allah guide whom He wills. Let Allah heal what you cannot fix. Let Allah replace what broke your peace with something that protects it. A soft-hearted woman becomes powerful when she realizes she can love people without losing herself for them. She can pray for someone without staying attached to their damage. She can forgive someone without giving them the same access. She can hope for their guidance while still choosing her own peace. Because sometimes the strongest thing you can say is not a speech. It is not an argument. It is not another explanation. Sometimes the strongest thing you can say is a quiet decision inside your heart. I will not keep breaking myself trying to change someone who is comfortable breaking me. 7. Become soft for Allah, strong with people. A soft-hearted woman does not need to become cold to become strong. This is very important to understand. Many women get hurt so deeply that they make a decision inside their heart. I will never be soft again. They stop caring. They stop trusting. They stop showing emotion. They become silent, but not peaceful. They become distant, but not healed. They become hard, but inside they are still wounded. My sister, that is not strength. That is pain wearing the clothes of strength. Islam does not ask you to kill your softness. Your softness is beautiful when it is placed in the right direction. Your mercy is beautiful. Your kindness is beautiful. Your gentle heart is beautiful. The problem was never that you had a soft heart. The problem was that you gave your soft heart to people who did not know how to fear Allah in how they treated it. So the answer is not to become heartless. The answer is to become wise. Become soft for Allah and strong with people. Be soft when you stand before Allah in salah. Be soft when you raise your hands in dua. Be soft when you cry in sujood and tell Allah what you never told anyone. Be soft when you remember that Allah saw every moment you were misunderstood. Allah heard every word that broke you. Allah knew every tear you wiped before anyone noticed. With Allah, you do not need to pretend to be strong. With Allah, you can be completely honest. You can say, Ya Allah, I am tired. Ya Allah, I am hurt. Ya Allah, guide me. Ya Allah, protect my heart. But with people, my sister, you must carry wisdom. You must stop giving everyone the full softness of your heart. Not everyone deserves your private pain. Not everyone deserves your emotional access. Not everyone deserves repeated chances. Not everyone deserves to see the most gentle part of you. Some people only respect boundaries after they realize they can no longer cross them. Being strong with people does not mean being rude. It does not mean shouting. It does not mean revenge. It does not mean treating others badly because someone treated you badly. A woman of Iman does not let the behavior of careless people destroy her character. Strength means you remain respectful, but you no longer remain available for disrespect. Strength means you forgive, but you do not forget the lesson. Strength means you speak with manners, but you stop begging to be understood. Strength means your heart stays clean, but your door is no longer open to everyone. A soft-hearted woman often thinks strength means becoming someone else. But real strength is becoming more obedient to Allah than to your emotions. Your emotions may say, reply to them. Wisdom says, wait. Your attachment may say, give them one more chance. Wisdom says, look at the pattern. Your loneliness may say, go back. Wisdom says, remember what it cost you last time. Your guilt may say, you are being harsh. Wisdom says, no, you are protecting your peace. My sister, your heart should be soft enough to forgive, but strong enough not to be fooled by the same behavior again. You can forgive someone and still say, you cannot have the same access to me. You can wish someone well and still choose distance. You can make dua for someone and still stop carrying their chaos. This is not hatred. This is maturity. This is the moment a woman stops letting her emotions pull her back into places Allah may be removing her from. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was the greatest example of mercy, but his mercy was never weakness. He was gentle, but he was not controlled by people. He forgave, but he also stood for truth. He was kind, but he did not allow falsehood to become acceptable. This teaches us something powerful. Softness and strength can live in the same heart. You do not have to choose between being gentle and being wise. You can be both. A woman can have a tender heart and still have firm boundaries. She can speak softly and still mean what she says. She can walk away quietly and still be powerful. She can cry to Allah at night and still face people with dignity in the morning. She can love deeply and still refuse to be misused. That is the beauty of a heart guided by faith. It does not become hard. It becomes protected. You must learn to separate your heart from people's reactions. Some people will not like your boundaries because they benefited from your lack of them. When you stop always saying yes, they may call you selfish. When you stop replying instantly, they may say you changed. When you stop explaining your pain, they may say you are cold. When you stop accepting disrespect, they may say you are proud. Let them speak. Their reaction is not always proof that you are wrong. Sometimes their reaction is proof that your boundary is finally working. Do not measure your goodness by how much people can take from you. Some soft-hearted women think, if I am truly good, I must always give, I must always forgive, I must always stay, I must always understand. But my sister, even giving has wisdom in Islam. You cannot give what destroys your deen, your dignity, your peace, and your emotional health. Your heart is also an amana. Your peace is also a blessing. Your self-respect is also something Allah gave you. Do not protect everyone else's feelings while abandoning the heart Allah placed inside you. There will be moments when you feel tempted to go back to the old version of yourself, the version that answered every message, the version that apologized when she was the one hurt, the version that kept explaining, the version that feared losing people more than losing peace. But when that moment comes, pause and ask yourself, is this decision bringing me closer to Allah or closer to the same pain? If the answer is pain, then choose differently. Be soft for Allah by keeping your heart pure. Do not let bitterness grow inside you. Do not become someone who celebrates another person's downfall. Do not make revenge your goal. Do not let your wound turn into cruelty. Give the pain to Allah. Let Him handle what you cannot handle. Let Him expose what needs to be exposed. Let Him heal what no person could understand. But be strong with people by watching actions. Believe patterns. Respect yourself. Do not give emotional access too quickly. Do not let sweet words erase repeated disrespect. Do not call confusion love. Do not call manipulation care. Do not call control protection. Do not call pain patience. A wise woman names things correctly, because once you name something correctly, it loses power over you. If someone keeps breaking your peace, step back. If someone only remembers you when they need something, step back. If someone makes you feel guilty for having boundaries, step back. If someone enjoys your softness but refuses responsibility, step back. If someone brings you closer to anxiety than to Allah, step back. You do not need to announce every distance. Sometimes the most dignified boundary is quiet withdrawal. My sister, you are allowed to protect yourself without becoming cruel. You are allowed to rest without explaining. You are allowed to say no without writing a long speech. You are allowed to stop trusting someone who repeatedly broke trust. You are allowed to love someone from far away. You are allowed to leave a conversation that disrespects your soul. You are allowed to choose peace after years of choosing people. And remember, choosing peace does not mean you are abandoning love. It means you are learning the right order of love. Allah first, your deen first, your dignity first, your peace first, then people. Because when people become first, you begin breaking yourself to keep them. But when Allah is first, you learn that no person is worth losing yourself over. The soft-hearted woman becomes unbreakable when her softness returns to Allah, because now she is no longer begging people to value her. She knows Allah values her. She is no longer destroyed by someone's silence. She knows Allah hears her. She is no longer desperate for someone's attention. She knows Allah sees her. She is no longer controlled by fear of being left. She knows whoever Allah removes was never stronger than what Allah can replace. So do not become cold, my sister. Become clear. Do not become bitter. Become wiser. Do not become harsh. Become protected. Let your heart remain soft enough to love Allah deeply, but strong enough to stop bleeding for people who only know how to take. A woman who is soft for Allah and strong with people is not easily controlled. She does not chase. She does not beg. She does not keep explaining her worth. She does not hand her peace to people who cannot even handle their own character. She walks with humility, but also with dignity. She forgives, but she learns. She loves, but she watches. She gives, but she no longer empties herself. This is the final lesson. Your soft heart is not the problem. Your lack of protection was the problem. Keep your softness, but place it under the guidance of Allah. Keep your mercy, but let wisdom guard the door. Keep your love, but never give it in a way that makes you lose your self-respect. Become soft for Allah. Become strong with people. And when the wrong people can no longer break you, you will realize something powerful. They did not destroy your heart. They only taught you where it should never be placed again. My dear sister, your soft heart is not a mistake. It is a gift from Allah. But every gift needs protection. Do not let pain make you cold, and do not let people make you careless with yourself. Stay gentle for Allah, but become wise with people. Forgive, but do not return to every place that broke you. Love, but do not lose your dignity to prove your loyalty. Be kind, but never again confuse kindness with permission. The woman who learns this does not become hard. She becomes peaceful. She becomes clear. She becomes protected. And when your heart belongs to Allah first, No careless person can own your peace again.